Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Darren. I hope you're all well and having a good stitchy week. So we're doing my stitch with me today, and today we're going to work on my kit, which is the Egyptian Queen. This is by DMC, and I'm working in this area over here. So we'll get you zoomed in a little bit so we can see. And then I need to find out what colour I'm going to start with. Maybe I should have picked that out first. So, as I say, this is a kit. And I've lost my needle. Oops. Helps if I tighten up the frame. Yep. Right. Let's get my first colour and then we'll get started. So this one is mainly 2/1 full cross. There are parts that are half stitch. So I don't know how this is going to go when we have to read from a paper chart as well as doing stitching, but we'll soon find out. So hopefully I don't knock the camera too much. So we're starting here. You can see that's okay. Right. So again, and I mentioned it in my update, but thank you very much everybody who wished me happy birthday. It's really appreciated. As I say, it was a quiet day, but I got all my college work done. As I say, I got my assessment back, and there were a couple of sections that I needed to finish, well, redo. It wasn't many, there was only a couple of questions. But how the exam assessment is, it doesn't tell you everything that you need to do on it. So one of them was dealing with invoices for petty cash, and you had to sign these checks, but on the stuff that he gave you, he said that it's to be signed by the accountant or the owner of the shop business, but he didn't say which one, so I left it blank. So obviously I had to fill that in. There was another part on that one as well, so she said that my rounding up was incorrect and I was 1 cent out, but I have double checked, triple checked, and it's like, no. And last time I did rounding up when I was at school, I've definitely done the rounding up part correctly, so I don't know what she's running about there, so I've had to message her and tell her that no matter how I do this rounding up, I still come out with the same answer, so I don't know how she says I'm 1 cent out. I even had Gail Phillips check it out for me, because she does that kind of work, and she got the same answer I did. We'll see what the tutor comes back with, but I've got to wait until I hear back from her before I can resubmit my assessment, which has got to be done by Wednesday. So hopefully she'll get back to me tomorrow, which will be Monday because it's Sunday now. So hopefully she'll get back to me tomorrow with how she says I'm sent out. Work is going really quiet at the moment. We don't seem to have much wood in at all. So I don't know what's happening there. I don't know if it's still due to the lockdowns down south or what, but we just don't seem to be getting much wood in at all. I don't think I've gone far enough here. Nope. Yes, no. Where's that stitch? That's that one. Yes, I have. Phew, I thought I'd gone wrong then. Well, that's a good start. Go wrong already. So Mum's doing well. Brother's doing well. So my brother didn't do much for his birthday, for our birthday either. He just stayed at home from what I'm aware. He didn't go anywhere. So he had an eventful birthday, same as me. So I've got a couple of questions. So hopefully these will keep us going. Now the first one was from, well, it says Pigtown Sally. I apologise if I butcher that. I was asking about needle threader that I use when I'm struggling with my 28 count size 28 needle. So I will put a picture in at the end of what it looks like, but basically it's just a really thin metal needle threader with like a thin wire, and that works perfectly for the size 28 needle. Now I can't put a link to it because it actually came in a kit, but I think you just go, if you just Google on Amazon ultra thin needle threader, it brings them up. But I'll put a picture in of what it looks like anyway. So I'll put that in at the end. But I'm gonna say it definitely helps me with threading the needle on the size 28. Because I don't know why, because just like I cannot thread a needle to save my life. Never had a problem before, and now I can't thread them. So. Next one is from Sue. And Sue, you are disgusting. Don't mean that literally. She says celery and cream cheese is amazing. You are so wrong in so many ways. So you cannot eat celery. The only place that's worthy for is the bin. But I agree with her. She says Brussels sprouts and lima beans should be banished from the face of the earth. I've never had lima beans, so I don't know what they're like. Brussels sprouts, yeah, I'm not a big fan of them either. Obviously, in the UK, we like to have Brussels sprouts on Christmas dinner, and I've never been a fan of them. I will eat maybe one, if that's it, but I have to have something with lots of flavour over the top of it, so I can't taste it. My brothers, on the other hand, love Brussels sprouts. So, yeah, they're disgusting. But she asks, when are you going to get your craft room done? What do you need? Still need to get it ready. So, craft room, stroke, study, is, yeah, far off. I still need to get a cupboard to put all my cross stitching stuff in it. I have a cupboard in here, but it's got all other stuff in. So it's got like Shane's models and stuff like that, because he's been doing model cars. They were my dad's, and Shane decided he wanted them. I was like, all right, fair enough. So it's been, well, they're all in there. He hasn't done any of them. And there's also a latchhook rug in there as well that he started and hasn't done much more to it. Shane's like that. He'll start a hobby, do it for a couple of days, and then that's it. It won't be done again. So they will get done eventually. Funny thing, I'll probably end up finishing the latchhook rug. I don't mind doing those. But yeah, so I still need to buy a cupboard so I can put my stuff in it. So it's all nice and neat. And then some kind of organisation thing for the thread drops. So some kind of rail or something. So it will get done eventually. As I say, Rome wasn't built in a day. Neither was my craft room. I do think Rome probably would have been. Apologies. Sorry about that. Shane ringing me yet again. He's gone shopping yet again. So he's at Bunnings, looking looking for some seed packets, because we don't have enough plants in the front garden as it is, so we need more. But I also sent him to Office Works, which is a stationery shop, to get me some ink for my printer, because I wasn't bothered about the ink, but for my college work I need to print some stuff off, so I thought, I might as well get the ink. So I sent him there to get me some ink and to photocopy my chart for my memorabilia, so then I can mark it off as I'm going along. So I've had that photocopied, so, which is good. Means I'll be able to do some more work on there. So, right. Next question. This is from Denise, who says, not sure if it's ever been asked, but how do you decide if you do tent stitch or full crosses on your projects? So I have answered this before, but I don't mind answering it again. So it depends mainly on, one, if I want to get the project done quickly. If I want to do it quickly, then I will do tent stitch, because that goes a lot faster. If it's one I really want to take my time with, then I will do a full cross. So like Tiger Family of the Jungle, I really wanted to do that one. So that's why I've done that one with full cross. Maybe if I'd have done it in 10 stitch, I'd have been 3/4 of the way through by now, but hey, never mind. It is what it is. But yeah, if I want something that I want to get done quickly, then it will get done 10 stitch. So a lot of them, I think, nowadays are probably going to be 10 stitch, so I can get them done quickly, because I'm getting way too many projects. And if I do them all full cross, it's going to take me forever to get them done. But saying that, I do have a fair few that I've done full cross at the moment. So we will see how we go on that one. I don't mind doing the full cross ones. I don't mind doing 10 stitch, so it just depends as well what frame of mind I'm in when I'm starting it. If I pick one up and it's like, oh, I'll just do this one 10 stitch, I'll do it in 10 stitch. So I don't really have a set in stone method. It's just however I feel at the time. Right, next one is from Viv. So Viv's Crafts. I don't know if Viv has a YouTube channel or not, I'm not sure, but if you do, Viv, you'll have to let me know. But yeah, Viv's Crafts it's called. So she sent me a couple of questions. So one, what made you move to Australia? So the warm weather is the main answer. I came on holiday, I've mentioned this before, I came on holiday back in 2009 after having my surgery. I fell in love with the place and decided that this is where I wanted to move to. I did come over here as a student, as a mature student, back in 2010, which is when I met Shane. And then I went back to the UK and Shane followed. And then from then on it was like working out how to get over here. So every time I saved money up to do for the visa, the price went up. And then we got told different information. One said Shane had to be over here when I lodged for it. So he came back over here and it turned out he didn't. He needed to be over in the UK, or we both needed to be in the same country, so he had to come back. And then several years down the line, I found out that I could just come over here on a holiday visa and then put my application in, and they would grant me a bridging visa, which means I could stop in the country anyway until they decided on whether they were going to grant me my visas. So I was like, well, if we'd known that, I could have done that ages ago. So that's what we did this time. So 2018, come over on a holiday visa, and then when we got here, I lodged my visa for staying here. So the next one, is Shane an Aussie or British? So Shane is an Aussie. So his mum is Australian and his dad is actually British. So technically Shane is both, but he was born in Australia. So he has dual citizenship. But yeah, no, Shane is an Aussie. How often do you go back to the UK if there was no COVID? So, so far I haven't had a chance to go back to the UK because obviously everything that happened. With my visas as well, it was like when I was on the bridging visa, I weren't allowed to leave the country until they decided on whether or not I could get my temporary visa. And then by the time I got my temporary visa, COVID had hit, so there was no flying anywhere. But I'll say I was hoping to go back for my mom's 70th birthday, so that didn't happen. I was hoping to go back for Christmas. That's not happening now. So I think once we're able to, everywhere's open up again to flying and stuff like that, it'll probably be maybe once a year I'll go back over there, because obviously it's not cheap for return flights. So it'll probably be once a year, probably around about Christmas. Well, it depends, I suppose, where I'm working at the time. If I'm still at the timber yard, then it'll be at Christmas time, because that's when we get our holidays. Sorry about that. Shane phoning again. Anything when he goes shopping, he has to phone you up to tell you everything he's seen. I was telling him about some flower beds that well, I don't know if I told you before, we got one and we had to take it back because they didn't join together. Well, it's been had a look, and there's some other ones there, and they've been reduced down. So he was telling me that they've been reduced, and that he wants to get one. So we'll get one then. It's the same price as what we originally had for the other one, so he's getting that one. So, right, back to the questions. Question 4. Would you stay here in Australia for a long time and become a citizen? Why or why not? So, yes. I'm planning on staying over here because I really like it over here. And since I'm doing my college course over here as well for the accountancy. So yeah, I'm definitely going to stay in over here. I will be going for my citizenship when I'm allowed to. You've got to be a resident of the country for 5 years before you can get your citizenship. So as soon as I'm able to do that, then I'll be applying for my citizenship to stay here. So then I will be a dual citizen. So yeah, so I'll definitely be staying over here. Unless things go really, really bad and I decide to go back home, but I can't see it. I don't like it too much over here because it's warm. Next question. Why do you prefer full coverage designs over small or samplers? Question. I say I started out with full coverage ones. I don't mind doing small ones. As you see, I've done a couple of the little small kits. I don't mind doing small ones. And samplers, I don't mind doing samplers as well. I mean, I've got the pandemic sampler and that Christmas one, Joël Noel. I've got that sampler as well. So I'm enjoying doing those ones. But I'm not one for having to do a lot of counting. But some of the smaller charts and samplers and stuff like that, you look at them and you're like, oh, that's really not my cup of tea. I prefer to have like the detail and stuff like that. But some of them, I mean, some of the smaller ones and stuff like that, they do look okay. But it's not something I go out my way to look at. I mean, it's like, you see all these small ones with like just wording and stuff like that, and then it's like, no, that's not for me. I like to have something to focus on. I must admit, though, I have seen a couple of samplers that don't look too bad. And I'd probably do them, but I haven't got around to purchasing any kind of samplers as yet. So I'd like to do more samplers, I think, because obviously you can choose all your different fabrics and stuff like that, and different flosses, but then it's going to cost more money. So we'll see. Who knows? I may get some more samplers down the line, but if I do, it won't be many, I don't think. I'd like to try a mandala. Yeah, chatelaine. So I think that one would be quite fun to do. Probably a couple more long dog samplers. I like those ones. But I really don't go looking at on sites that sell samplers. It's like all these reproduction samplers that are coming out now, and it's like a lot of those are not my style because they just look strange that a horse is the same size as a house or something like that. It just, yeah, I don't know. It'd have to be a good sampler for me to be drawn into it and then decide I want to do it. So we'll see. Who knows? I might get some more samplers at some point. Some may jump out at me and I'll be like, ooh, I'd like to do those ones. But it's got to have a lot of detail kind of stuff in it. I don't want one that's just all alphabets, because I'd be bored of just stitching alphabets. So we'll get there eventually. I'll probably find one or two further down the line, as I say. Well, because I'm not buying any charts this year, I obviously won't look until next year, and then if one jumps out at me, then I might get it. Well, there are a couple of the long dog ones I like, so who knows? Time will tell. But yeah, small ones. I don't mind doing small ones at all. They're nice, quick and easy. I suppose it goes towards a finish for the year, which obviously I don't get many of them on. So, right, next question. When and why did you start stitching? So, I first started stitching when I was at school. I was off with migraines. So I would have been, how old would I have been? Maybe about 13. And my brother brought me at home a cross stitch from school, because they were doing it in economics and crafts. So they were doing cross stitching. So I really enjoyed doing that one. It was only a small little one. And then that was all I really did. I didn't really do it after that. And then after I had my surgery, I needed something to do, and I remembered how much I liked doing the cross stitching. So I went looking online and found a couple of projects. So the first one being my Majestic Tiger. And then this was one of them. Tiger of the Heavens was another. So there was a couple. So we started doing that. But that was only just like every now and then. And then it wasn't until I moved over here that I took it up, doing it all the time. Because, as I say, when I first got over here, I wasn't allowed to work or anything for the first 3 months. So for the first 3 months, it was like, what am I going to do? So I pulled out all my cross stitching and started stitching. And then it just took off from there. Mainly because I was watching a lot of FlossTube as well. And I was like, damn it, I need that piece. I need that project. And then I found Heaven and Earth. And it's like, uh-oh. Any other hobbies that I have? So I do diamond painting. Needless to say, I haven't done them for a while. So I do diamond painting. Only other hobbies I do is playing on the PlayStation, but I haven't done that for an awful long time either, because I'm too busy stitching. I like gardening, although I don't get a chance to do much of that either, because Shane's always doing it. Or rearranging the garden, should I say. So I don't do much gardening lately either. I like cooking, but again, Shane likes to do all the cooking, so I don't get a chance to do much cooking. I do have a couple of little hobbies, but I think as big as this. Diamond painting used to be my main hobby until I got back into cross stitching properly. And the only reason I got into diamond painting was because it was Shane actually. He went looking on, I don't know, AliExpress, Wish, something like that, for cross stitches, and found the Big Cat's the one that I'm now stitching. He found that as a diamond painting, and he thought it was cross stitch, so he ordered it, and it turned out it wasn't. and I really liked it. I really enjoyed doing that one, so I got a fair few of those. But then I got back into cross stitching, and I prefer cross stitching, to be fair. Although diamond painting does go a lot faster, I prefer my cross stitching. So that's all the questions from Aviv. Thank you, Aviv. So the next one's from Dawn. If you had to choose between stitching dark colours on... Hang on. If you had to choose between stitching dark colours on dark fabric or light colours on light fabric, which would be your preference? I would probably have to say light colours on light fabric. Don't mind stitching on dark fabric. But it's like when you're doing black on black and you just can't see where you've been whatsoever. It's like, nah. So yeah, I'd probably go for light colours on light fabric. Which is kind of like my Castle Wolves, which I really need to pull out again. That one's a lot of pale pastel colours. As I say, but also when my glasses on I can see what I'm doing with that one, so I don't mind the pale colours on light fabric. But yeah, mind saying that with London, I mean there's a fair few dark colours in that one, and apologies for the ping, and same as in my Northern Lights, there's a lot of dark colours in that one as well, so I don't mind doing the dark colours, but I prefer doing light colours on light fabric. So next part is, if you did not have Pattern Keeper, would you still count stitches if you were not working on a challenge? If not, how do you keep track of how long it takes you to stitch a piece? Or do you not keep track of that information? So if I didn't have Pattern Keeper, I'd still keep a track of how many stitches I'm doing. I mean, it doesn't matter if I'm doing it for a challenge or not. For the sake of, like, floss tube, it's good to keep a count, so then I can let people know how many stitches I've got done in a week or anything like that. With regards to how long I know it takes to do a project, that doesn't bother me how long it takes. It takes as long as it takes. For me, so any new starts that I've started since starting floss tube, I've actually wrote down the date I started it. So then I can say how many years or whatever it's taken me to complete the piece. I don't really track how many days I stitch on them or how many hours and stuff like that. The part doesn't bother me as such, but I still count my stitches for floss tube. If I weren't doing the floss tube, then I wouldn't be counting stitches at all, unless it was, I say, if I was doing a challenge of some sort, then that would be the only way I would count my stitches. But other than that, if I wasn't doing floss tube, then I wouldn't be counting stitches at all. And that was that. So next one is from Kitty, who asked, excuse me, how far from Melbourne do I live? So Melbourne is down south. Now it's a fair distance, so on a plane it takes about an hour. So driving it would probably take, I would say, probably a good 12 hours or so to get there. So it's a fair distance away from where I live. So I've only been to Melbourne once, and that was on a flight. It called in at Melbourne, and then I had to go from Melbourne to Sydney, then Sydney to Brisbane. So I've only ever been in the airport of Melbourne. What do you think, or are your feelings about what is going on there? Or don't you see what's going on down there? So we only see certain things, what's happening down in Melbourne, on the news up here. Over in Australia, most of the news is all about your area where you live. So there's like 7 states over here. So it only normally tells you what's going off in the state that you're in. It does tell you. It depends if it's something serious, like there was the earthquake down in Melbourne this week. Then they'll tell you about that one. So I say, feel sorry for them having to go through the earthquake, as well as being locked down as well due to the COVID that's ramping off down there as well. So yeah, it's a bit unnerving, if you like. I do feel sorry for them. I would not like to be going through an earthquake, that's for sure. I don't think anyone really would, but so yeah, so heart goes out to them. I'm gonna say, it doesn't tell you anything that's gone off from them. They just tell them that there was an earthquake, and they'll probably be feeling the aftershocks for probably a couple of months. So yeah, so I do feel sorry for them, because obviously that's got to be very nerve-wracking when you get an aftershock and you're like, is this another earthquake, or is it just an aftershock, or is everything going to fall apart around you? So yeah, so I do feel sorry for them. I want to say, I know I had a friend who moved to New Zealand, and they were in Christchurch. Now, they got a lot of earthquakes from what I understand, and she couldn't cope with it because of all the aftershocks, so she moved back to the UK. So yeah, so obviously you've got to be tough as nails to live in a place where they have earthquakes. I don't think I could cope with it. I know they do have earthquakes around Australia and stuff like that, but yeah, I don't think I'd probably be like my friend. I don't think I'd be able to cope if I knew it was just earthquakes all the time. How these people in America deal with it as well, like is it near the San Andreas Fault, where they have earthquakes all the time? Yeah, I'd be like, nah, see ya, I'm off. I just wouldn't be able to cope with that at all. So I'm just picking random colours here, sorry. Just going all over the shop. So this one I won't be able to tell you how many stitches I've done today, because I need to highlight them all and everything. And try and figure out where I am. I just realised that you can't even, well, you can just see where I am on here. A little bit out of shot. Move you up a bit, there we go. So this week I might try and do some more work on my World of Water one, the one which is almost finished, that I just need to do the metallics backstitching on. So I'm gonna hopefully try and do a bit more work on that this week and get that close to a finish or finished. The only thing with that one is obviously having to count to where I need to do the backstitching, because a lot of the dolphins or orcas, whatever they are on there, they're really dark blues, and then the areas around them are dark blues, so trying to figure out where your backstitching needs to go in those ones is a bit of a challenge. So but I might pull that one out again this week. Let's see if I can get any more of the backstitching done on there and do some more of the French knots. See that I've now mastered the French knots. So yeah, so I might pull that one out this week. We will see. So far my plans for kind of getting anything finished on my whip go challenges is not going very well. Seem to be working on the same couple of projects and still not getting anywhere. And then obviously next month I haven't decided what I'm going to be doing there. Natalie actually contacted me. If you remember, Natalie is the one who I did the dolphin challenge with. And she suggested just doing an ocean October. I'm working just on ocean pieces. Well, I've only got 2 ocean pieces. I've got a couple more to start, but I've only got 2 ocean pieces. So that won't get me very far. I'm going to say I've almost done one of them, which is the wall of water. So the only other one would be my dolphins and turtle piece. I was actually looking through some of my projects the other day, and I've got like the waterhole guardians. And I was like, oh, I haven't worked on that one for ages. I need to work on that one. So I'm going to have to decide, try and get some kind of organisation into what I'm going to work on and when. So that's something I'm probably going to have to look into for next year. I was thinking maybe next year of like doing the Tiny Decisions app and splitting it up and having like Hades and in one category, and the CrossFit Studio in another category, and others in another category, and then just spinning it and getting like one of each week, as well as whatever I choose as my focus piece. But we will see. I haven't decided yet, so I need a good system for next year, I think. So if anyone can suggest a good system of how to work between my projects, please feel free to let me know on that one. Otherwise it'd just be a random thing and half my projects will not get worked on, because I'll end up sticking to the same ones, or just starting a load of new ones or something. I don't know. I was about to say, am I still in frame? I am. Oh, that reminds me of another question that Sue asked as well, which I answered in the question when she posted it. And she was like, oh, that was meant to be a question for your Stitch with me. So, well, you never said. And she asked if Tiger Family of the Jungle is going to be my focus piece next year, or if it will be put away and something else worked on. So I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do. I was thinking next year of having my brother's pieces as my focus piece, because as you know, he wants 2 more pieces doing. So I was thinking of maybe having those as my focus piece, but I may do it a little bit different next year. I may have 2 projects as my focus pieces, so one for say a Saturday and one for a Sunday, so that they both get a decent amount of stitches in on them. But again, I haven't decided. I may do a vote or something near the time to what people want to see me do as a focus piece. I don't know. Or I may do, like I seem to be doing at the moment, I have one focus piece for the weekend and then another focus piece which is like for Monday, which is generally my challenge piece. I normally do that on a Monday. So I could move that to a Friday when I get more stitching time. So I have like one on a Friday and one for the weekend. There's just too many decisions to make, and not much longer left of this year to make them in. What there's about, I think they said in the news the other day, it's like 100 days till Christmas or something like that. So it's like, well, there's not that many more days after that till the end of the year. Yeah, we will see. And then obviously I've got to come up with my plans for next year as well, of what targets I want to aim for. And obviously this year I made ridiculous targets that are definitely not going to be completed. So I think I need to look at my targets for next year as well and make them more realistic. Like just like do a page finish on most of my projects or something like that. But again, that's something I'll work out when it gets nearer that time. So, right, so I think this video's gone on long enough, as I say, because Shane keeps phoning me. But I think I'm at about 50 minutes altogether, so I'm going to leave it there. So I've done a fair bit. I've filled in some around here and down here, so not too bad. Let's get in there. So I'll work on this a bit more later on as well. Get some more finished on this. So that's going to do. So I'll zoom you back out. There we go. So that's going to be it for this week. So again, guys, if you've got any questions or comments, then please feel free to drop those down below or send me a message. Again, all details as normal are in the description box. So my email address and Instagram. So they're all on there. So feel free to message me any questions that you want or any suggestions. Or again, if you want a project working on and a stitch with me, again, just let me know and we'll get some of those pulled out as well and get working on those. So that's it for now, guys. So thank you very much for watching. Stay safe wherever you are. Enjoy your stitching, crafting. And until the next video, which will be my update video. So I'm only going to be doing the one stitch with me this week. I will stay safe and I'll catch you then. So thank you for watching and bye-bye for now.